The crimson sun of Kepler 442b cast long shadows across the research outpost as the Jraxi war party descended from the clouds. Their chitinous armor gleamed like oil slicks, and their plasma rifles hummed with lethal energy. They had conquered 17 worlds in this sector alone, each victory adding to their reputation as the galaxy's most efficient exterminators. Commander Velkrath observed the primitive human settlement through his targeting visor. Intelligence had reported only 2 inhabitants, one human researcher and his pet. The concept amused him. His species had abandoned such sentimentality millennia ago. "Surround the structure," he clicked in his native tongue. "The human dies today." Inside the outpost, Eli heard the atmospheric disturbance and felt his blood run cold. He'd received no warning, no evacuation order. Earth was 3 months away at maximum burn, and his emergency beacon would take weeks to reach the nearest patrol. But Nara knew. The Lioness had been pacing for the past hour, her golden eyes tracking something Eli's duller senses couldn't perceive. Now she stood between him and the door, a living wall of muscle and predatory intent. Her ears lay flat against her skull, and a sound emerged from her chest. Not quite a growl, not quite a roar, but something that made Eli's prehistoric hindbrain scream danger. "Easy, girl," Eli whispered, though his hands trembled as he reached for his specimen collection rifle. It was designed for tranquilizing, not warfare. "We'll be okay." The first Jraxi breached the door with a plasma cutter. The metal peeled away like flesh and 3 armored figures pushed through, weapons raised. They never saw Nara coming. 300 kilograms of evolved killing machine exploded forward with impossible speed. The lead Jraxi had time to register surprise before Nara's jaws closed around his weapon arm. The crunch of breaking chitin echoed through the room as she shook her head violently. The same technique her ancestors had used to snap the necks of prey for millions of years. The warrior's screech was cut short as Nara released his mangled arm and lunged for his throat. Her fangs, each one evolved over epochs to pierce thick hide and crush bone, punched through his armor's weak points as if they were designed specifically for this purpose. The second Jraxi fired. Plasma scorched Nara's shoulder, burning through fur and flesh. She roared, a sound that made the walls vibrate and sent primal terror through every living thing that heard it. The sound that had once frozen ancient humans in their tracks. The sound that warned all who heard it, "You are prey." She pivoted with liquid grace, using the first warrior's dying body as a shield. The third invader hesitated, and in that microsecond of doubt, Nara struck. Her claws, retractable razors honed by natural selection, raked across his faceplate, shattering the transparent material. Before he could recover, she was on him, 300 kilograms of fury driving him to the ground. Commander Velkrath watched through his tactical feed as 3 of his finest warriors fell in under 10 seconds. His mandibles clicked in disbelief. This was impossible. The creature had no weapons, no armor, no technology. Just teeth and claws and terrible, beautiful violence. "What is that thing?" his lieutenant hissed. "Apex predator," Eli said quietly, having stepped to the doorway with his pathetic rifle. "You wanted to know why humans survived their homeworld? Why we climbed to the top of the food chain on a death world that tried to kill us every single day?" He gestured to Nara, who stood over the fallen Jraxi, blood dripping from her muzzle. "We didn't do it alone." Velkrath's tactical computer analyzed the creature, cross-referencing with the galactic database. The results made his blood run cold. Panthera leo, Earth designation, African lion, terrestrial hypercarnivore, bite force 650 psi, sprint speed 80 kilometers per hour, evolutionary role megafauna apex predator, social structure, pride-based cooperative hunting. Notable behavior, extreme territorial aggression, defensive instinct when pack-bonded maximum. She's not even one of the big ones, Eli continued, his voice steady despite his fear. Earth has predators that make her look small. But you know what makes her special? Loyalty. She didn't evolve to love us, we evolved together. For thousands of years we've been family. 6 more Jraxi entered the outpost. Nara's haunches tensed. Her wound dripped blood onto the floor, but her eyes never wavered. She placed herself directly in front of Eli, and that low, terrible sound rumbled from her chest again. The first warrior who moved forward learned what her ancestors had taught her. She feinted left, drawing his fire, then closed the distance in a single bound. Her jaws found his weapon arm, twisted, and the plasma rifle clattered away. The second warrior tried to flank her, but Nara's awareness, sharpened by generations of hunting in packs, had already marked him. Her hind claws raked across his abdomen as she pivoted, opening his armor like a can. Commander Velcrath finally understood. This wasn't a pet. This was a weapon system refined over millions of years of evolution, and it was bonded to the human with the same fierce loyalty that had allowed both species to survive and dominate their nightmare world. "Withdraw," he commanded. "Withdraw now!" But Nara wasn't finished. She pursued them through the doorway, and Eli heard the screams and plasma fire fade into the distance. When she returned 20 minutes later, limping but alive, her muzzle was painted red, and there were no more sounds of invaders. Eli dropped to his knees and buried his face in her blood-matted mane. She rumbled, not a growl this time, but the deep, resonant purr that vibrated through his chest and made him remember why humans and lions had chosen each other so long ago. Above them, the Jiraxi fleet retreated into orbit. Commander Velcrath filed his report with trembling claws. Planet designated Earth is to be marked as "Do Not Engage." Inhabitants possess bonded apex predators. Recommend immediate quarantine classification. The galaxy would learn what Earth had always known. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their weapons. It was knowing that they didn't have to face the universe alone. Nara licked Eli's face, tasting salt and tears. In her golden eyes was the same promise that her kind had made to his kind millennia ago on the African savannah. "You are Pack. I will fight for you. I will die for you. And anyone who threatens you will learn what it means to face an apex predator." The Lioness had spoken. The invaders had listened, and they would never forget.